Congratulations for taking massive action to transform your life by getting a copy of the Zen Mastery. I'm sure you're going to love what you will discover in this life-changing program, but before you read your copy of Zen Mastery, I want to offer you a one-time opportunity to speed up your transformational journey. It's an amazing offer that will complement your new life-changing program. Introducing the Zen Mastery Video Upgrade, the perfect companion to your Zen Mastery blueprint. Instead of reading the book from cover to cover, why not unlock all the secrets from Zen Mastery under one sitting? By watching videos, you can learn faster than by reading the ebook, as you have a voice and visuals to help you understand better, and allows you to remember what you learned from this life-changing blueprint, so you can shortcut your way to overflowing happiness and opening doors to greater opportunities. Here's why you should get this video upgrade. Discover the secrets revealed inside Zen Mastery with more clarity so you can easily implement the action steps. Speed up your transformational journey by going through the course. As you know, watching a video is faster and more fun than reading. Remember more of what you learned so you can get more results in less time. Absorb what you learn faster from this course with no distractions. Experience personal mentorship as you have a voice that speaks to you, guides you, and grabs your attention with visual graphics. In this video upgrade, you'll get 10 premium quality videos of Zen Mastery. Here are the things you will discover from this video program. The meaning of Zen. Don't forget to breathe. Switch your perspective. Simplify your life. Be mindful of the present. Meditate a little every day. Establish a daily routine. Respect and appreciate life. And much more waiting to be discovered inside. So, how much for this upgrade? Look, I could easily charge you $497 for the video upgrade, considering the amount of success you're about to get. However, I'm not going to charge you that much because I want to help more people like you achieve your desired goals in life. And I believe the Zen Mastery video upgrade can help you achieve the success you deserve. In this exclusive one-time offer, you get instant access to Zen Mastery video upgrade for just a fraction of its total value. Plus, your purchase of this video course is backed by my 100% ironclad guarantee for the next 30 days. If you're not satisfied with this video upgrade, simply return your order within 30 days for a full refund. You have my word on it. And just so you know, this offer is not publicly available. This opportunity is limited only to you and others who are serious about transforming their life. So if you click away or click this video, you won't get to see this offer again. Get everything you see here on this page for a low one-time investment. Click on the order button below now to get started.
In this video, we'll discuss about respect and appreciate life. People who are able to find happiness in small things are those who live a happy life. For others, it's easy to forget what they have since they're so busy looking for what they don't have. It's funny how the mind works, thinking that what you could have will be more valuable than what you do have. But just how do you measure this happiness? There are people who have a lot of money but aren't happy, and then there are those who have no money but are happy. This difference exists because of their state of mind. Those who appreciate life find happiness no matter what. While happiness itself can mean a lot of different things for different people, those who are the happiest may not necessarily have the best of everything, but they do make the best of everything. If your happiness is associated only with achieving certain goals, such as a nice car or a good job, then rest assured that the search for happiness will be a lifelong pursuit. This is because once you get these goals, you look forward to meeting more goals, which will make you happier, and so on. In other words, your happiness is always placed somewhere in the future, but never in the present. On the contrary, happy people are always happy in the present. Their happiness is right here and now with who they are and what they're doing. They learn to appreciate life as it is and don't give a thought to how great things will be in the future. If you want to lead a happier life, try including these Zen habits to appreciate life better. Learn to let go. This may sound difficult to do, but learning to let go can release you from a lot of worries. At times, you stick on to things that don't matter. You feel that if you let go, you won't be able to survive. In essence, it's an attempt to hold on to meaningless issues for more meaningful ones. When letting go, you need to realize that walking away from certain situations is a step forward. In fact, there are times when certain things in your life aren't meant to stay. Perhaps the most difficult part about letting go is moving out of your comfort zone and into new territory. But remember that change happens for a reason, and you should be ready to embrace it. Consider the example of a couple who splits. Either way, both parties involved will be impacted, but until and unless they let go, they can't reduce the impact. Holding on to pain or unpleasant memories doesn't fix anything. If anything, it holds you back. It could be a tragedy or an untimely death, leaving you pining for what could have been. You yearn for what should have been or what you feel you were entitled to. It could also be a dream, a desire, a hope, or a wish, something that you may have wanted for years but never actualized. It becomes very important to let go because all this is dead weight, and the longer you hold on to it, the longer it takes for you to move forward. The same also stops you from investing in your present and being happy at the moment. Even when you look at all the stuff you possess, ask yourself, do you really need to have so many things? That shirt you stopped wearing ages ago still hangs in your closet. Those shoes that were your best friend in your college days still have a spot on the shoe rack. And all those books which you'll never open again are taking up half the bookshelf. You talk about letting go, but keep holding on to excess baggage. Learn to let go of things and let more life in. Turn more to nature. There is no denying the fact that everyone feels happier when they are in nature. Mother Nature never disappoints and always provides inner peace. Being in nature helps reduce stress levels, and if you notice, time also slows down when you're in nature. The sense of urgency and rush that you experience in your daily life seems to come to a standstill when you turn to nature. Instead, it's replaced by a healthier pace of life. Things in nature happen according to their natural rhythm, instead of being dictated by clock time. When you spend more time in nature, you stop to enjoy the scenery and learn to appreciate more. You learn to breathe slowly and relax and get relief from the daily grind. It is possibly one of the best ways to add more Zen into your life. When you cut yourself off from nature, you get assimilated by the drive to be as comfortable as possible, to make your life as pleasurable as possible, and to resist as much hardship as you can. But the truth is that you can never be pleased or comfortable all the time, and you certainly can't always be in control. Staying in touch with nature brings you back to reality. So many things in nature are beyond your control, such as the rising and setting sun. You can't control when it rains or when the temperature gets too high. You learn to accept these elements as they are, which is a lesson in humility. It makes you realize how little control you really have. You accept this reality and learn to be happy in your given situation. Happiness is closer than you think. To conclude, the quest for happiness doesn't have to be an impossible task. It's right there for you to behold, if you choose to do so. Contrary to popular opinion, which looks for happiness in nicer things, you can find happiness in the simplest of things. Have a productive day. Go out for a walk in nature or listen to a beautiful song. Notice how all these unspectacular things can make you happy. All you need to do is connect with happiness, and it'll be right there for you. Happiness isn't something that you can get from external things, but comes from within you. It is also not something that happens to you, but something that you make happen. And remember that you'll never find happiness if you keep looking in the wrong places. To look for happiness outside yourself stops you from being yourself. So instead of searching for happiness, just be yourself and you'll find that happiness will come to you. Some people experience a sense of happiness through giving. This is because giving connects you with others. So if that's where you feel happy, then give away generously. You may also have reminisced over the past thinking about those happier days. But if you think hard enough and try to remember, were you happy at the time that you now consider to be a happier time? You'll probably realize that you never took note of your happiness as you experienced it. This is because in your mind, happiness is something that lives in the memory rather than something you consciously experience. To associate happiness with either the past or the future leaves no room for it in the present. This is what you have to change. Focus on gratitude and count your blessings so you can learn to be happy in the moment. Chances are you already have happiness in your midst, but just don't realize it. In this video, we'll discuss about switch your perspective. Oftentimes, people feel that their focus is not under their control. You may have had the same suspicions about yourself. But the truth is that what you focus on is what you experience. If you spend too much time focusing on things you don't need, your mind gets caught in a web. You try to multitask, switch from one thing to the next, or simply end up putting things off. And with time, it becomes hard to break out of the habit of switching and being distracted all the time. However, the simple truth is that your happiness depends on the way you think and how you respond to the environment you live in. Perspective has a huge role to play when it comes to your happiness. So how do you train your mind to stay more focused, and how can you switch your perspective? Here are some steps you can take to do so. Stay with one thing at a time. Too many people are guilty of doing too many things at the same time. When you demand your attention to jump from one thing to another, you will have a busy, fractured, and most likely unproductive day. Switching tasks frequently requires a supreme level of functioning, meaning that you have to use a lot of brain power and energy even before you start a task. No wonder it ends up draining your effectiveness. Zen teaches you to do the exact opposite. With Zen habits in your life, you will choose a task that needs doing and then stick with it. A good starting point may be to ask why this particular task is important for you. If you can give yourself a good enough reason why this task means more than others, then that's where you need to start. As you start the task, shift all your attention to it. Shut out any distractions and clear your mind. Don't think about or start doing something else until you have finished what you started. Train yourself to focus on the task at hand and resist the urge to look elsewhere. This practice will keep you steadily grounded in the present and let you give your best to whatever task you choose to do. This rule is applicable to even the most simple of things. For instance, when you eat, just eat. When you pour water, just do that. When you go walking, just walk. In instances where you may have to move on to something else, at least put away the unfinished task to return to later. Taking it slow in this way doesn't mean you're being lazy. What it does mean is that you're doing it right. You may be doing less, but you're doing it well. On the way, you'll have to deal with everyday distractions, like the digital world, for instance. In fact, there is now a lot of research pointing to the fact that digital distractions are making people not only dumb, but also twitchy. Not only does this concern stop you from concentrating, it also stops you from resting, both of which are equally damaging. Focus on the process. Changing perspective requires your focus. You can't adopt a positive life if you can't learn to focus. Focusing on the process and how things should be dealt with will make you wiser. Here, it's important that instead of focusing on the outcome, focus on the process. This will help you in quite a few different ways. For instance, focusing on the process will eliminate external factors. What this means is that decisions based on outcomes often end up using wrong techniques. But when you focus on how to get things done, you are better able to polish your skills. As you work your way through something, you realize the pitfalls and also discover ways to remediate the problems. Plus, focusing on the process also lets you enjoy the moment. You become more engaged in the present and at what you're doing, and you will do it better too. Another perk of focusing on the process rather than the outcome is that you get more control over what you're doing. In other words, you don't have control over the outcome, but you do have control over the process. When you give something your best, the outcome is likely to be good as well. If anything, focusing on the process will make you more confident in the way it lets you learn skills. These skills will make you better at decision making. You will have fewer worries about the future, and your focus will be on the present. To better focus on the process, engage in only one thing at a time. Do the work slowly and deliberately. This doesn't mean lazily, only that you need to take your time and move purposefully. When doing so, make your actions deliberate instead of random. There is also a need to put space between things. What this means is that try not to schedule things too close together, but leave some gaps in between. This will give you a more relaxed structure to work with. It will also provide some wiggle room if one task takes longer than expected. The whole point of Zen is to enjoy what you're doing, so try not to rush through your life. Don't rationalize. Rationalization is defined as something where you apparently come up with rational explanations for certain behaviors. The point is to make that behavior seem optimal, even when it's not. However, the same definition could also lead you to conclude that rationalization essentially is the act of making excuses. Either way, rationalizing doesn't always help, which is why you need to avoid it. When you want to incorporate Zen habits into your life, you need to stop making excuses. As you've seen earlier, Zen does require a certain degree of discipline. So while missing one day of meditation won't derail your progress much, making it a habit certainly can. The biggest problem with skip days like these is that they eventually lead to quitting or giving up. The one-time exception then becomes the rule. Such getting off track can make it very difficult to get back on track. That's why Zen encourages establishing a daily routine, as we will see in an upcoming chapter. For now, let's talk a bit more about rationalization. You use rationalization when you try to justify less than optimal behavior or feelings. So what you're doing is finding a way to distort facts to make things appear better than they actually are. Here's something to think about. You say you're going to follow a diet plan, but that only lasts the first 3 days. Or you have every intention of going to the gym since you got a membership, but only do it once. So what happens here? A few possibilities could be that you aren't serious about it, you forget why it's important, or it becomes too difficult. You may also give up in disappointment, or you start to rationalize. When something becomes difficult, your mind rationalizes, telling you it's okay if you skip something once, or it's okay to have just one more since you worked so hard for it. While this may all sound reasonable, it starts to sabotage your plans. And once you start believing these rationalizations, sticking to anything becomes next to impossible.